The wait for Hollow Knight Silksong has been long. Like, painfully long. And if you're anything like me, you've probably replayed Hollow Knight more times than you'd like to admit, while wondering when Team Cherry will drop the next update. In the meantime, I have played some incredible indie hidden gems. Not all of them are Metroidvanias, but they each gave me something I loved about Hollow Knight. Whether it's the exploration, the atmosphere, the music, the environmental storytelling, or just the pure artistry of it all, these are 10 indie games that helped fill the Silksong-shaped hole in my soul. Moonlighter has a fantastic gameplay loop that combines two genres seamlessly. You play as a shopkeeper who, you guessed it, moonlights as a dungeon crawler. During the night, you dive into procedurally generated dungeons, battling monsters and collecting loot. By day, you flip that loot in your shop, setting prices, managing inventory, and upgrading your town. It's a cozy, satisfying loop that hooks you fast. Just one more run turns into 5. The balance between combat and commerce makes this one a standout. Titan Souls is a pure boss rush game with a beautifully simple but brutal hook. You get one arrow, every boss has one weak point, and if either of you gets hit, it's over. Think of it like a pixel art Shadow of the Colossus. Each boss is a puzzle. Figuring out how to land that one perfect shot is the entire game. It's challenging, minimalist, and totally engrossing if you're craving the same precision and patience that Hollow Knight demanded in its toughest boss fights. Moonlighter walked so Dave the Diver could run, or rather, swim. Dave takes that familiar dual-genre gameplay loop, combat and commerce, and dives into it headfirst, literally. During the day, you plunge into a stunning underwater world, using your trusty harpoon gun to catch fish, while uncovering the ocean's secrets. At night, you serve up delicious sushi made from your catches in your very own restaurant. But that's just the beginning. As you play, the game keeps evolving. New mechanics, new areas, new mini-games, and even entire genre shifts. It's packed with charm, full of comedy, and surprisingly deep beneath its quirky pixel art surface. Hyperlight Drifter is a top-down Metroidvania soaked in neon and melancholy. There's no dialogue, no text, just a crumbling world, full of secrets and danger. The combat is tight and satisfying, but the real standout is the mood. The pixel art is gorgeous, and the soundtrack by Disasterpiece is immaculate. Its synthy score elevates the entire experience. It captures that same eerie sense of loneliness and forgotten beauty as Hollow Knight, though it expresses that emotion through a totally unique lens. It's the kind of game that washes over you, cryptic, beautiful, and quietly unforgettable. Tunic is one of those games that completely surprised me. At first glance, it looks like a cute Zelda-like with a little fox in a colourful world, but it quickly reveals itself to be something deeper and far more grand. The game gives you almost nothing in terms of hand-holding. No guidance, no tutorials, no dialogue. Instead, you piece everything together through exploration, cryptic symbols, and finding scattered pages of a beautifully crafted in-game manual, like the paper ones that used to come with the cartridges when I was a kid. It taps into that childlike wonder of figuring out a game by feel. The soundtrack, composed by Lifeformed, is soft, ambient, and deeply atmospheric. Combine that with its warm, crisp, and vibrant art style, and you get an experience that feels both nostalgic and completely fresh. If you love discovery, this one delivers in spades. Crow Country is a loving homage and love letter to one of my all-time favourite games, Resident Evil on the original PlayStation. Crow Country mixes classic survival horror gameplay with that chunky pre-rendered 3D pixel art aesthetic from PS1 classics like Final Fantasy VII. Most modern survival horror games go all in on realism and jump scares, pushing graphical fidelity. That's why Crow Country felt so refreshing. It leans into the fun parts of the survival horror gameplay loop and has a distinct, stylized art direction that I found very comforting. You explore an abandoned amusement park. You can even use tank controls if you like, solving puzzles, managing your inventory, and slowly uncovering its secrets. There are lots of Easter eggs and nods for survival horror fans, and just enough silly camp to balance out the tension. I couldn't believe how well they captured the feeling of playing Resident Evil as a kid. It's a niche vibe, but if you love that era or that genre, you'll love this. Death's Door is from the same developers as Titan Souls, and it's amazing to see how much they've leveled up with this sophomore effort. You play as a little crow working for a bureaucratic afterlife office, tasked with collecting the souls of the dead. The game has an isometric Zelda meets Souls-like feel, with satisfying exploration, clever puzzles, and tough but fair combat. It feels a lot like Tunic in structure, but this one leans harder into combat and has some amazing boss designs. The character animation and environmental details are gorgeous, and the world feels lovingly handcrafted. It's melancholic in the same way Hollow Knight is. A true standout in the indie action-adventure space. Spiritfarer is the coziest game on this list, but it's also the one that hit me the hardest emotionally. You play as a ferrymaster to the dead, tasked with helping spirits pass on to the afterlife. Instead of combat, the game focuses on building and customizing your boat, cooking, farming, and caring for the spirits who come aboard while you sail around a large purgatory world. Each spirit has a story, a personality, and a moment where you have to say goodbye. And those moments hit hard. It's peaceful and warm on the surface, but it's a deeply emotional experience about loss, closure, and connection. The writing is gentle and wise, and the music ties it all together beautifully. The hand-drawn animation is stunning. Some of the most polished, creative, and expressive 2D character animations I've ever experienced in a game. It's absolutely worth playing for the art direction alone. Haiku the Robot is the closest thing I've played that truly scratches the same itch as Hollow Knight. You can feel the Team Cherry DNA in everything, from the world design to the subtle storytelling. You play as a little robot, exploring a decaying mechanical world filled with secrets, tight platforming, and eerie atmosphere. The movement is fluid, The combat is snappy, and the exploration is just so satisfying. While the game is relatively short, you can finish it in a weekend, it still manages to feel expansive and alive. The fact that it was made by a solo developer makes it even more impressive. It's a love letter to Hollow Knight in all the right ways and wears its inspiration proudly on its sleeve. But calling it a clone would be doing it a disservice. Haiku has its own identity and voice. If you've been tearing through every Metroidvania you can find trying to recapture that Hollow Knight magic, like I have, this is the one that actually comes closest. Inside is one of the most transcending experiences I've ever had with a game. It's short, easily the shortest game on this list, but every single moment is crafted to perfection. The vibe is unsettling, the visual storytelling is immaculate, and the descent into madness is unforgettable. No HUD, no dialogue, no weapons or boss fights, just pure environmental storytelling as you journey deeper and deeper inside something you don't fully understand. It goes places you are not ready for, and an absolutely wild ending that will linger and haunt you for a long time. It's weird, it's beautiful, it's perfection. Inside is a masterpiece, one of the GOATs. If you haven't played it yet, do yourself a favor and go in blind. I promise you won't regret it. So, there you have it. While we continue obsessively checking for any whisper of a Silksong update, these games have helped me stay sane. Maybe they can get their hooks into you too. Each one gave me a piece of what I love about Hollow Knight, and video games in general. Whether it's the art style, the sense of discovery, the environmental storytelling, or that indescribable feeling of being completely immersed in a world. Let me know in the comments what you've been playing while we wait. And of course, like and subscribe for more recommendations. It really helps the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.